This is Dan of Vagabond Awake.
𝗕liche from 𝗕𝗵𝗲.
Welcome to the channel. So in this video, we would like to share with you the biggest mistake that slow travelers make and what the symptoms are so you know when you're making that mistake.
Yeah, very obvious symptoms sometimes.
In last week's email, I explained to my subscribers that I would bring Chung on the channel and the two of us would be talking about the biggest mistake that slow travelers can make. And so that's what we're doing today.
Yeah.
By the way, if you want to be one of my email subscribers, just go to vagabondbuddha.com and on the top left-hand side, you'll see a link that says free ebook. Click that, join my email list. Now, after sharing the biggest mistake and its symptoms, I will share a slow travel secret that saves us thousands of dollars per year as we slow travel the world.
But first, what is slow travel?
Okay, slow travel, if you think about slow travel was during your working years, you get a week or two off, you fly somewhere, you march around to 2-3 different cities on a bus or a boat or whatever, and you're exhausted by then, you come home, and you kind of don't remember what's what. It's just, everything happens so fast. Slow travel is the opposite of that. It's when you're not time bound. You go to a place, maybe you like it, you stay 2-3 weeks, a month, 3 months, 6 months. You don't like it, you leave in a week or two. So slow travel is about really getting to know a place when you're not bound by time.
But what is a bigger mistake?
Okay, so the biggest mistake you can make as a slow traveler is to go too fast. What is it about going too fast that ruins the experience, Chung?
You can't remember what you did last week.
Yeah, where you were, where you ate.
Let me ask, where was you last week?
I was in Bosnia.
Oh, okay. Is it? Kind of.
Yeah, we were in Bosnia for last week, and before that I was in Serbia. Blah 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 blah.
Okay.
But so would you say we've been traveling too fast lately?
We've been traveling too fast.
Yeah,
True.
I would agree with that too.
It's tiring. So why do we slow travel so fast, Dan?
Well, it's for different reasons. For one reason is that if a country gives you a short visa, 30 days say, and if there's 4 places you want to see there, that means you only have a week each. Unless you do visa runs, you leave, you spend a month in one place, leave for a few months or whatever the visa run requires, come back, spend another month in another place. But you're doing all of this extra travel. It can get expensive, so you'd be tempted to say, well, I'll just fly in, hit 4 places a week each. So that's a very typical reason that people slow travel too fast.
Yeah.
Another reason is the Schengen visa.
Right, which is right now what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in Shenzhen area, and both of us only have 90 days out of the 180 days.
That's right.
So in this 90 days, we need to see a lot of a different country.
Yeah. we did a video about 2 months ago. We asked you guys what places you're interested in, both Schengen and non-Schengen countries in Eastern Europe or in Europe, and you told us where to go. And so that's what we're doing. Unfortunately, there were 12 places we wanted to see in 90 days, which means a week each to gather the data for retiring in these 12 different places.
Oh, it's just exhausting.
It is. We're kind of spoiled because normally we have more time to do this sort of thing.
Yeah. Traveling too fast is you will not find a good accommodations and also a restaurant list because you don't have a time to know some people. They will give you the idea about what food that you should go try, what food you should go eat, Yeah.
Yeah. And accommodations, you have no bargaining power. When you're going somewhere for a week and whichever method you use, so say you use Airbnb and you ask, you find the cheapest place and let's say it's $50 a night or whatever, you don't have any bargaining power because you're only there 7 days.
Yeah.
But if you're going for a month, if you find a place you like and the monthly rate on it is whatever, $500, you might be able to convince the property owner to give it to you for $375. Why? Because you're taking it for a full month. You're not just there for a week. They don't have to clean it. They don't have to think about it. for a whole month, their problems are over. So, but you don't have any leverage when you're only there for a week.
And also that if you travel too fast, some of the tour you cannot able to take it. Example, when we in Armenia, we was there for like 9 days to 10 days, so we miss out the time for the tour. They only have one tour for a week, so we miss out that tour, you know. So it's just a love thing.
Yeah. So in the Shenzhen area, one of the things you could do that people do when they're slow traveling is during that 180-day period when they're allowed 90 days, they'll rotate out of the Shenzhen area into like an Eastern European area, places like Montenegro, or with
Bosnia,
Serbia, Albania, Georgia. And they'll run out the clock and they'll reset that 180-day period, and now they can go back into one of the Shenzhen countries.
Yes.
And so it's kind of like a visa run for Shenzhen purposes. And thankfully, there's countries there that are still non-Shenzhen.
Yeah.
Another example is Thailand. Historically, they would allow you 30 days upon entry. You could get one extension for 30. So if you had 4 places you wanted to explore, and you had 60 days, 30 plus 30, then you could spend a couple weeks in each place. And then you could do a visa run wherever, to Malaysia or Vietnam or somewhere, Cambodia, and then come back in for another 30 plus 30. Now they have a new 60-day visa, but not everyone who's going there gets the 60 stamp. Some only get the 30. We don't really know why. We're waiting to see what happens with that. But so one of the solutions is doing visa runs so that you can extend your period in each city. Another solution is a rotational movement. Like some people, they'll do Thailand for 60 days, Vietnam for 90, Malaysia for 90, Philippines for 90. Then they'll rotate back into Thailand, and then they're always given the full amount of time in each place, and they're not having to leave before visas expire or whatever. And they can spend as much time in each city that they want by doing this rotation and movement.
Yeah.
And that might be the future with a lot of the taxation going on with 180-day. That's an excellent solution to not be in any one country up to the 180-day limit, which many countries have now. So one of the things people do to save money when they know they're going to be slow traveling too fast is they book in advance. When there's more choices, a few have lower prices and that kind of thing. But what happens when you show up at a place and you don't like it? You want to leave after 2-3 days. You book that place, now you just walk away from it?
Yeah.
In fact, we have a story right now about that. I'm not going to name the place right now because we just got here and we want to fully digest it before we talk about it.
Yeah.
But as soon as we got here, we were so busy slow traveling, we didn't find out about a cute little town nearby. And so we have this place we're in now, which is lovely, but it's not as lovely as some of the nearby cities. So while we're here, we're going to spend a 3-day period to go to a nearby city. And it's quite expensive because it's high season, which I'll talk more about in a minute. So, sometimes you have to stay somewhere you don't want to be so long. Sometimes you have to leave because you booked a bunch of places in a row after that, and you need to go enjoy a place that you already booked. So that's one of the problems. When you're slow traveling, you may not. Like when we were in Colombia, Chen was just talking about.
I miss that kind of traveling.
Yeah.
When we in Colombia, that time when we in Medellin, we doing a tour, and then we was with the tour guide around, and then we don't have the next destination or next stop to go. Yeah. So we asked the tour guide, what is your favorite place in your home country?
Colombia.
Yeah, in Colombia, and then he say it's Santa Marta, and then we just book our ticket to Santa Marta.
Yeah. So the beautiful thing is when you learn things on the ground and you're not booked weeks in advance or whatever, you're footloose and fancy free, and that's the beauty of slow travel. And so that's when you're not trying to get everything. The X place is done in a certain period of time. That's just an example.
Yeah, I think the next travel we were doing like that.
Yeah.
We were not planned that much already.
Yeah. Okay, I promised to share with you some of the symptoms of slow travel so you know what it feels like when you're going too fast.
Oh, the first thing is you will feel tired very fast.
Yeah. When you're moving once a week, you're changing hotels. We'll get into that. So one of the first things, you're going to be tired.
Of planning
Of
and
planning.
moving.
Yeah, so you're spending too much of your time planning. You don't have downtime where you're just relaxing, watching Netflix, going for a walk in a park, playing with somebody's dog or something unrelated to your travel, just like life, living your life. And so you'll get tired you'll get tired when that's happening.
Yeah, it reminds us that we met your subscriber in Romania.
Yeah, in Bucharest.
And he also said that when you feel tired, like traveling, like slow traveling that fast, and he feel tired, and he asked us,
Yeah,
like,
we said yes.
We've done it. Moving too fast. I wish that I would stay in a place for a month.
Yeah, a month's a perfect amount of time. But everyone's different. It might be a week for you. It might be 2 weeks. It might be 3 months, 6 months. The symptoms will tell you when you're tired. So the next one is that you're spending too much on accommodations. If your accommodations are costing more than what you're budgeting for them, that means you're not spending enough time finding better deals. So I mentioned Airbnb. Often Airbnb is a place we'll just book for the first few days, get our feet on the ground, and then we'll walk around, find our favorite neighborhood, and then we'll look for signs, and we'll try to book with a landlord who's not connected to the internet. That's where the good deals are. In fact, I have a report about that, how to find the best apartments around the world. And so you'll notice that your budget just keeps going up for accommodation. That's one of the things. You're going to get better rates the longer you stay. You have bargaining power because you're going to say, look, I'm staying for a full month, or I'm staying 2 months. And so you're able to relieve some of their hassle of having that week turnover themselves by giving them a month or two looking at having one customer.
The next one is you will mix the places in your mind, You were like, when you wake up, you're suddenly like, where we are right now? Where am I right now? That kind of feeling.
Yeah, and so one of the reasons, so I have a course, Retire Overseas course, and it teaches people how to retire overseas, all the different problems I've had to solve living overseas, and how to think about them in advance and not have them surprise you, that kind of thing. And one of the things in my course I teach is what's called the exploratory visit, which is really kind of slow travel. And, you don't just like read about a place online, watch a few videos, and just like pack up and move there. You have to go and see it, see the cities around it, maybe the countries around it, spend enough time. Your retirement's about the place that feels right to you. And you can't feel it over the internet. You can't feel it until your feet are there, until you're walking around, until you're people watching, until you're seeing how life is in that place. And if you're mixing them all up in your mind and you're going too fast and you're not really getting the feeling for a place, and so it's really about that feeling that it's all just becoming confusing to you. Your exploratory visit is not as useful for you.
The next problem is that a currency problem. So different countries have a different currency. So you will very confusing if you travel weekly in a different country, or the currency is just a lot of problem. Plus you withdraw the money because we use cash most of the time.
Yeah, we use cash, so our credit cards don't get hacked. We use cash for everything but online accommodations.
And second thing is cash is a king.
Yeah.
In the Europe country, because a lot of places that they say that small places and some restaurants, they say they don't want to take card, they only accept cash.
Right.
So so that is the thing that we always have cash with us.
Yeah, and so we pull money out at ATMs when we arrive in a new country, and of course you have to look and see what the conversion rate is, so you know how much to get out. If it's 100 to 1, for example, and normally you pull out $200 or $300, you need to pay out whatever that is, at 2,000 or 3,000, you need to pull out based on the conversion rate. And you need to know when you go to the machine how much to ask for, so that when it goes back to your home country bank, it's the amount of money that you're expecting to spend. Now, do you take out too much, not enough? How long are you there? A week? You don't really know what it costs yet because you're kind of new in town. And then at the end, you got extra money or not enough. Now you're going to a machine when there's only 1 day left. So you have this whole problem of monitoring how much money to pull out of an ATM.
And also, when you want to pay for the meal and you want to tip the waitress, then you're confusing. In this place, maybe it's 1.8 to 1 euro, 1 USD, and the last place is 100 per USD. It's like you was confusing sometimes.
Yeah. So it's this is going to happen no matter what when you're changing countries. But when you're doing it every week, It just, the amount of chance or the amount of chaos in your life, when you shrink it down to a week, is, it just comes at you pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And so, so managing the amount of cash you have and that you need, and by pulling out ATMs. And again, I don't use credit cards for purchases overseas. I've had credit cards get hacked or go missing, and then you have to have them flown to you in another country. It just complicates things. It's easier to get money out at ATMs and to pay cash for everything. So that's just a little tip here for you.
The next one is a SIM card.
Yeah.
So when you arrive in a different country, you need to buy their local SIM card. And yeah, they have eSIM. We don't really use eSIM because eSIM is, they don't have a physical number.
They don't have a physical number, and also if they do, it's in another country, maybe your home country or some country where you. eSIM is another word for virtual SIM.
Yeah.
Some people say, oh, the best thing to do is get a virtual SIM. We don't agree. A virtual SIM costs between $40 and $80 a month, and maybe you can use that SIM card in multiple countries. Each time you arrive in a country, you program your phone to have the eSIM for that country or that general area if it's multiple countries. But it's $40 to $80 a month, and we're typically only spending $5 to $10 for a physical SIM card.
Yes.
And then it includes a bunch of data, which they try to charge you more for with a virtual SIM. And so it's a way better deal. And also you have a local number. When you're trying to live like a local, negotiate with a local landlord and all this sort of stuff, and what if they don't have WhatsApp or these other things that they can contact you on a non-local number? And so it's not an ideal situation. Some of you will use them, all the power to you, but we don't. And so every country you go to, you need a new SIM card, a physical SIM card.
And also I found out it's so easy because we're taking a bus to this kind of country in Europe. When you arrive in the bus station, like a kiosk, the mini market, they're all selling SIM card.
Right.
So easy.
Yeah, so you just pop out your old SIM card, pop in the new one. Most of them don't even have code you have to, or any kind of programming on your phone. Boom, then you just check it and it works immediately.
Buy the SIM card and then take it out, put inside your phone, activate, and then check the YouTube, see it's playing, then your SIM card is already activated.
Yeah, and it saves a lot of money. It works better. And all of your WhatsApp, Skype, Facebook, all of the apps you're using to do travel, all of them don't care what country SIM you have. They all work through data on the internet. And so you don't have to reload anything. It all still works immediately. Plus you have a local number. And you still have your home number because you're using whatever, Skype or Google Voice in order to communicate with your family and friends. That's still there too. All you're doing is adding a local number. So we believe in physical eSIMs. So we get one in every country, whether we're going fast or slow. But when you're getting a new one every week, it just adds a measure of complication when you're going week. So next up is your ATM, right? So many of the banks, the first 5 or 10 years when I was slow traveling, the bank would want me to say what countries that I'd be in. So I'd give them a list of 6 countries I'm going to be in over the next 6 months or year or whatever, and I would log on once or twice a year. But when you're doing 12 countries in 12 weeks, maybe your bank only allows 6 or 8 of them, and so you have to remember to log on, put in the countries you're going to go to, what the dates are, and then you have to think about currency conversion before you get to a country, because when you first land, you may try to get money out of an ATM, but you don't have a SIM card in your phone yet. You needed that money to buy the SIM card, so you have to remember to figure out what the currency conversion is roughly before you go to the ATM in a new country. So that's another thing you have to think about. And I think the biggest problem for me is when you're going too fast, it's not as fun, is it?
Yeah, it's not fun.
It's not as fun. It feels more like work or something.
It feels like a work that, I have to see what's going on in this city in a week,
Yeah. What that means is that you have no downtime. Now, what does downtime give you? The way you really get to know a place is by your downtime. Yeah. When you're like have nothing planned, you're just like you're walking through a park and walking down the street and you see something, you want to walk over there and see what's going on. You'll get to do some of that, no matter what. Even if you cram it into a week, you just have to do it to really get to know a place. But ideally, you want to have enough downtime, because the most important thing about an exploratory visit, finding your paradise for retirement, is what it feels like to be there. A feeling is everything. It doesn't matter if the rent's $50 or $100 a month cheaper. It doesn't matter if the one or two restaurants are better, or if you really like a place, a lot of that stuff will just be no sweat off your back. You just like, it just feels right to you, and so you need that. You need that understanding of what it feels like to spend your time in a place, and so it's very important.
Yeah, a movie.
Yeah.
And to go for a walk. I was very enjoying like to go a walk to know about the neighborhoods. Like when in Estonia, when we in Riga,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just simple stuff like just getting a blanket and something to drink and some cheese and whatever, grapes, or just sit in a park and sort of people watch and just sit there and relax. That's really stuff you have to put in your life in order for it to remain making sense when you're slow traveling. Okay, I promised you a bonus of how we save thousands slow traveling, but first Cheng wants to share one thing.
If you travel so fast, it's very easier for you that you will judge the book by the cover.
Yeah, those first few days, you're just kind of getting to know a place.
Yeah.
And your first impression or two, a good example of that is the Philippines. Some people go to the Philippines for a week or two, and they see something that bothers them, a hungry dog or a pile of garbage in the next street corner or something, and they just judge the whole country in the first 20 minutes.
And also that when we travel into this Eastern Europe place, some people say, oh, that country, they are not friendly people.
Right.
And actually you need to be treat people like what you want them to treat you. You smile to them, they smile to you in the end because they are working tired. And also, when you travel too fast, you also get yourself tired, and you accidentally express your anger to the people. So it's mess up everything.
Okay, here's a bonus for you. Okay, never slow travel too fast in high season. So in high season, things are already double and triple, right? And now you're going to stay for a week in each place and have no bargaining power. And now there's going to be a bunch of tourists around you. The restaurants are overloaded. You're not really getting that feel for the place because it's just full of people. And so
full of tourists.
Full of tourists, sorry. Right. And so here's my advice to you. In high season, get off the beaten path and stay off the beaten path during high season. Stay in one place. Don't try to do short, slow travel fast during high season. It's just a bad combination of things that will kind of take some of the joy out of the whole thing, and you'll just spend a lot more money because you have no bargaining power.
And also that's in the high season, the restaurant is catering tourists, so the food maybe will not be so tasty, and the waiting time to get into the restaurant is quite long. So a lot of problem for the high season. Yeah,
and so the key is in high season you want to book early and you want to book way in advance because the prices are lower. You book it, lock it down, go to that one or two places and just stay there for that whatever it is, 2-3 months that are high season. Don't try to slow travel during high season. Thanks for watching our video.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Oh, by the way, I have a slow travel playlist where we share all our secrets. That's up here. Watch the slow travel videos.